The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets showcased improvement in 2023 with a bowl game win and a 7-6 record. But that improvement will be put to the test right away as we begin the 2024 season in Dublin, Ireland against an ACC powerhouse, the Florida State Seminoles. Welcome back to my channel, everyone, and it's finally time to get this show on the road in my Georgia Tech Dynasty on College Football 25. Excited to have you all with me, as Calvin Johnson will make his coaching debut in the Aer Lingus College Football Classic at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Let's first take a look at our opponents, the 11th ranked Seminoles. It goes without saying that they are a very balanced and deep roster. After a year at Oregon State, DJ Uiagalelei is back in the ACC as he now leads the Seminoles at 86 overall. This team boasts a plethora of reliable running backs, but surprisingly their wide receiver room isn't the deepest. It's now led by Alabama transfer Malik Benson now that Keon Coleman is off to the NFL, but if nothing else, this receiving core is fast. And the offensive line is strong, with starters all in the 80s. As good as the offense is, the defense might be better. Patrick Payton, Marvin Jones, and Darrell Jackson form a menacing defensive line, even with the loss of Jared Verse. Our mid-70s overall tackles are going to have their hands full today. DJ Lundy leads the linebacking core, and cornerback Azarie Thomas is one of the best in the entire ACC. He's also got a pretty good number 2 in Fentrell Cypress, and Shyheim Brown is an absolute thumper at strong safety. Last episode I talked about our most important players, but I wanted to go over the entire depth chart before we start this first game. But first, here are the team captains for 2024. Junior quarterback Haynes King, junior running back Jamal Haynes, senior center Weston Franklin, senior edge rusher Romello Height, sophomore middle linebacker Kyle Eford, and junior corner Amari Harvey. Of course, Haynes King will be our starting quarterback, backed up by Zach Pyron. Jamal Haynes and Trey Cooley will get the majority of the snaps at running back. Cooley will sub in passing situations, but I want to have Haynes out there as well, so they will be sharing those duties. Evan Dickens might see the field this season, but probably not this game. Blocking specialist tight end Jackson Hawes will play fullback for us, but with some of the option stuff I want to run at some point, I'll probably be putting a running back in this position a lot. Eric Singleton is our number 1 receiver, but lining up opposite him will be Christian Leary, the senior speedster. Malik Rutherford will mostly operate out of the slot, but I also plan on having Leary rotate inside from time to time. Brett Seither will start at tight end, and Josh Beetham and Jackson Hawes will sub in for multiple tight end packages. Corey Robinson II will start at left tackle over Ethan McKinney, alongside left guard Joe Fusel, center Weston Franklin, Keelan Rutledge at right guard, and at right tackle we'll have Jordan Williams. Romello Height and Sylvain Yanjuin will man the edges for us. I'd like to get the seniors Kevin Harris and Joshua Robinson out there as well. They're not good enough to start, but Harris has that 90 acceleration and the quick jump ability. He could be effective rotating in every once in a while. I have 2 different sets of defensive tackles for passing and running situations. On early downs, we'll get the big run stuffers in there, senior Zeke Biggers and sophomore Horace Lockett. For our pass rush packages, I have defensive end Machias Scott rotating inside. Scott has 94 strength, 82 power move, and he has that grip breaker ability to stop the inside run. To me, he makes an even better defensive tackle than an edge rusher, at least in our 4-2-5 scheme where we want our defensive ends to be fast. Lining up next to Scott will be senior Penn State transfer Jordan Vandenberg. I really like his skill set too. 78 speed, 93 strength, 83 power move. Kyle Eford will start at middle linebacker for the 2nd straight year, and hopefully he gets even better because our run defense really needs it. Our other outside linebackers are senior Trinilius Tatum and the sophomore transfer from Georgia, E.J. Lightsey. I had a really hard time deciding who to play out of these 378 overall cornerbacks and 177. Obviously, Harvey's our number 1 guy, But ultimately, I decided to start Rodney Shelley on the other side, who has 96 speed. He actually has the worst coverage stats out of the four, but that speed is needed against the Florida State receiving corps. Warren Burrell will play the slot over Omar Daniels. These are two very similar players, corners who can tackle, but ultimately Burrell is one overall higher, and he's a senior. Clayton Powell-Lee is our starting free safety. He has some big shoes to fill, as last year's free safety Jalen King led the team in interceptions with 4. But Powell-Lee is a pure zone coverage safety, and he has that robber ability, which is nice. And then, of course, the 80 overall senior LaMiles Brooks rounds out the starting 11 defenders. This team has a really solid kicker, which is actually more important than ever now in this game, now that kicking is actually hard. Aiden Burr has 88 power, 87 accuracy, and he has 3 silver abilities. And I just found this out from a quick Google search. Our punter, David Shanahan, is from Ireland. He used to play Gaelic football in Kerry. Gaelic football is actually really cool if you look it up. But how cool is that? He gets to kick off the season by visiting his home country. Currently, I have Christian Leary returning both kicks and punts for us. Obviously, I know there's an injury risk there, but my general rule of thumb is I like to put my best guys out there returning kicks in the most important games. So I might put a freshman out there or someone less important against a less dangerous team, but Leary is by far our most dangerous returner, and we need all the help we can get to beat a team like Florida State. I told you guys I would show you my custom playbook, and here it is. Like I said, the triple option is back, at least in some capacity. This is the only triple option play I have in the playbook right now, so if we can't run it out of multiple different looks, we probably shouldn't run it very often. But I actually found a formation to run it out of that's kind of a good middle ground between like a pure flexbone offense and the spread offense that we currently have. I really like pistol formations, and this pistol flexbone slot has 3 receivers and some basic passing options. I also added pistol deuce close. I've always liked the deuce close formations. Again, the last Madden I had was Madden 20, and in that game, stretch runs out of deuce close were absolutely overpowered. I would also run bench and mesh all the time from that formation, and now that's going to be in this playbook as well. I also have shotgun, bunch, strong, nasty added, mostly because I really like this RPO bubble screen, and I think that this Georgia Tech playbook needs some better RPO options. But you can never really have enough bunch formations. They're really good for confusing a computer defense. And then I added a very similar formation, just a little bit more spread out in bunch, open, offset. And then of course I had to add a wildcat formation. Georgia Tech didn't have one initially. I'm going to be using this wildcat jet sweep a lot in goal line situations. And then the very last bit of housekeeping before we get started is I wanted to show you guys my sliders. This is basically Mat 10 sliders from Operation Sports with some very minor changes. I'm also setting the Coach XP earning speed to slower to increase the challenge. I'm playing on 11-minute quarters with accelerated clock set to 16 seconds. And then here are the auto sub sliders if you're really curious about the minor details. Okay, actually I lied. There's one more thing I have to say. I hate putting all this stuff at the beginning of a video. I just want to get to the football, but it's hard not to do this when there's a new series and there's all this stuff you have to establish. But there are 2 main frustrating things about this video. One is that there is no life-accurate Aviva Stadium in Dublin in this game. It's literally just a generic stadium. Like, I loaded into the game for the first time and I was like, wait, there's no way this is what the actual stadium looks like. And then I looked it up and it's obviously way cooler in real life. So it's just a boring, basic stadium. We'll just have to pretend it's Dublin. But my question is, if you can put a generic stadium for this game, then why can't you let us use generic stadiums for Team Builder? Maybe then I would do a Team Builder series, but I feel like I can't because I don't want to be playing with freaking Blue Mountain State and have UTSA's logo in the background. Anyway, I digress. The other unfortunate thing is not EA's fault. Actually, it's entirely my fault. I played this game with headphones plugged into my controller. I was just really hyped. I wanted to have the headphones on and be immersed in the game. I completely forgot that if you do that, OBS doesn't receive the audio when it's capturing footage, so this entire game is muted. I made this mistake very early in the Bulls series when I was still learning, but I made it again, and I apologize in advance. I'm just gonna have to pump in fake crowd noise, no fight songs, no nothing. We're getting the kinks ironed out early, guys. It's definitely a frustrating mistake to do that for the very first game of the series, but at the end of the day, it's probably better that I make that mistake for a game that's played in a fake, neutral venue like this, as opposed to, like, our home opener. I guess that's just what I'm telling myself to comfort myself. But okay, I've been yapping for long enough. Now it's finally time to kick off Season 1 of the Dynasty. The Knowles will receive the ball first, and Aiden Burr will send it away. Here we go. Keziah Holmes will take it from the goal line out to the 15-yard line. And good coverage to wrap him up. And here's our first look at DJ Uiagalelei, the former Clemson Tiger and Oregon State Beaver. Takes his first snap as a Florida State Seminole, and it's a handoff to Roydell Williams, a gain of 3 up the middle. Lawrence Toafili now in the backfield. They hand it off to him, and he pitches it to Destin Hill. It's an end around, and the Tech defense is not fooled. Romello Height stopped on a dime to chase him down. 3rd and long. DJU passes to his tight end, and he wasn't ready for it. Not on the same page yet with his new receivers, and Alex Mastromano is on to punt it away. One of the best punters in the country, he is. And Christian Leary will receive and isn't able to break free from the Gunners. And now our first look at the offense, which on paper has some really exciting playmakers, headlined by wide receiver Eric Singleton. We're in pistol deuce close to start the season, and we hand it off to Jamal Haynes, and he only gains a yard. 2nd and 9 from our own 36. King back to pass. He hits Malik Rutherford. Defender took a bad angle, and Rutherford gets first down yardage. It was Shyheim Brown on the missed tackle, and we have our first down. Now a bubble screen to Eric Singleton. Physical running to gain 7. Now a 2nd and short. King with the give to Haynes, and he bursts up the middle to move the chains. Linebackers showing pressure. They back off, though, but the linemen get to King in a hurry, forcing him to throw it up to avoid the sack, and there's a flag for holding. And that's on the left tackle, Corey Robinson, the only lineman who didn't give up pressure on that play. Now Haynes will eat up some of the yardage that we just lost, and he gets the ball again on 2nd, but nowhere to run. Darrell Jackson Jr. wraps him up for no gain. 3rd and 14 from the 46, and King pressured again. Patrick Payton already with 2 big-time pressures on King, and 2 big hits as well. Marvin Jones Jr. also got a shot in right there. King just got sandwiched as David Shanahan punts it away, and it's an absolute beauty. Giving the Irish fans what they want to see. They don't care about the score of this game. They just want to see some David Shanahan action. Roydell Williams gains 3 yards on the first play of the drive. Now 3rd and 9. Uiagalelei backed up, and he finds Destin Hill over the middle. That type of throw under pressure is why he was a 5-star recruit. Now he throws to the flat, and Destin Hill can't hang on. That was a big hit from LaMiles Brooks. Now Hill gets it again, and he's brought down at the 36, just enough for a first down. Uiagalelei in the shotgun, hands off to Williams, breaks free of the tackle, and he's brought down after a gain of 7. He just ran over LaMiles Brooks. 2nd and short from the right hash. DJ with great protection, and Destin Hill breaks free for a large gain. 3 catches, 56 yards for Hill on the drive. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, and shifty moves from Uiagalelei on the read option. Beautiful blocking from the Seminoles in close quarters, and he may not be that fast, but he's a powerful runner. Williams is stuffed behind the line. Brooks got in there. And the defense forces a field goal. Ryan Fitzgerald barely sneaks it inside the right upright. And it's 3-0 Seminoles. Now the offense looking to stay ahead of the chains a little bit better this time, and Rutherford gets the screen and takes it for a 20-yard gain. Yellow Jackets hustling to the line. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. The RPO pass out to Singleton is knocked free. And another holding call, this time on Joe Fusel, moves us back 10 yards. 1st and 20, we try to hand it off to Trey Cooley, and there's another flag on the field. Weston Franklin called for the hold. We are moving in the wrong direction. A 1st and 29. King is protected and will launch one deep down the right side. Christian Leary beat his man, and he goes all the way. Touchdown, Tech! And what a way to score the first points of the new season. The drive looked lost. It was 1st and 29, but one play is all it takes for Christian Leary to flip the game on its head. And that was Azarie Thomas that he just beat. He just turned a potential all-conference corner into burnt toast. The defense will now try to keep the lead. Good job controlling the edge and stopping the outside run for no gain. Now Uiagalelei will pass on 2nd down, and he finds an open man. Jalen Brown catches it just short of the markers, and Roydell Williams met at the line of scrimmage, but he falls forward for the first. Now they're trying to spread us out, and Uiagalelei pulls it back, takes it on the read option for 6 yards. A 3rd and 2 now. Williams in the backfield, 2 tight ends. He receives it, and he fights for the first down. That was sophomore linebacker Jacob Cruz in on the tackle. It's another reverse to Destin Hill, and when will they learn? Romello Height blows it up again. Now 3rd and long, Height beats the tackle and gets the sack. He is playing like a game changer right now on defense. And we've held the FSU offense to nothing but a few punts and a field goal. Alex Mastromano boots it high in the air, and it's only a 28-yard punt. Haynes King now trying to settle this offense down and start gaining some consistent yardage as the handoff to Jamal Haynes gains 3. A mesh concept on 2nd down, and not even enough time to hit the drag route. Marvin Jones just incinerated Corey Robinson. 3rd and 7, better protection, but Singleton has another pass jarred loose. Conrad Hussey on the coverage, and that ends the drive. 1st and 10, and Roydell Williams gains 5 to the left side. They fake the handoff to Williams, and Jordan Vanderberg was not fooled. Nearly sacking Uiagalelei, and that was his 78 speed on display. Now the pass is sailed, intended for the tight end Kyle Morlock. He was open, but couldn't get it to him, and it's an even shorter punt this time. For some reason, Mastromano decided to start doing sky kicks, and that was a 24-yard boot. Eric Singleton with another bubble screen reception. 7 yards up to the 43-yard line. In Seminole territory, Haynes King finds his running back. Haynes, he outruns the defender, beating him to the sideline for the first down. That's what 97 acceleration can do for you. Haynes gets it again on the stretch, and he has daylight. Bad pursuit angles from the FSU defense, and he's finally caught at the 14. Under 2.5 to go in the second quarter. King back to pass. He hits Rutherford on the slant down the middle. Up to the 5. 2nd and 1. Spreading the defense out. It's a run up the middle to Haynes, and he gets to the 2. Our first red zone opportunity of the year, and we're on the doorstep of scoring. We're running the clock out. Handing it off to Haynes, and no one in the vicinity. Flawless blocking from the line, and it is the first score of the year for our star running back. All of a sudden, We're almost to halftime, and we're up 14-3 on the 11th ranked team. Can we hold them to 3 points at halftime? That is a nice completion over the middle to Malik Benson. Now they target him again, and it was nearly picked. Rodney Shelley jumps the route and forces an incompletion. Now on second down, Uyangalele finds his tight end Morlock, and Amari Harvey brings him down. Third and long, a pass to the sideline, caught by Destin Hill. He has been carving up our defense so far. Really the only guy on the FSU offense who's been finding consistent success. Now over the middle, it's Benson! A huge chunk play, and he is tackled at the goal line. He ran right past Amari Harvey, and what a perfect ball from DJU. You can't place it any better than that. First down, DJ in the shotgun, tosses quickly to Morlock for the touchdown. And the Florida State offense has finally woken up. But now we could potentially have time to answer. King is swarmed and sacked. The right side of our line completely collapsed. That was Peyton and Joshua Farmer combining on the play. Third and very long, we run Leary on the jet sweep to the left, and he has all types of space. He has carried our offense on his back so far, and he just put us nearly into field goal range. First down from the FSU 39. King finds Singleton on a quick slant, and the ball is loose and recovered by the Seminole defense. I can't believe that was the call. He barely took a step before he lost it. That should be an incomplete pass. The ever unanswerable question, what is a catch? And our challenge is unsuccessful. Unbelievable. Now the Seminoles can cut it to 1 or even take the lead. Ja'Kai Douglas makes the grab, and the Seminoles use their last timeout. Uyangalele pressured and brought down by Romello Height. His second sack of the first half. And the clock's running down, and more pressure from Height. 2 seconds left on the clock after the incompletion. And the Noles go Hail Mary. This time he has time. Launches it to the left pylon. It is a jump ball, and it falls to the turf. And we head to halftime, up by 4. I'm not sure what to make of this first half. We had one big play touchdown and one really good drive. But outside of that, mistakes and sacks and penalties have really kept us from pulling away. I thought we were going to have to play a near perfect game to beat this Florida State team, but somehow we're still up by 4. And before we get to the second half, I wanted to show a little recruiting update. I forgot to get some scouting screenshots last episode, so here you go. Billy Russo, the 1 5-star who's showing interest in us right now, looks like a fantastic free safety right off the bat. He's going to start with 81 zone coverage, 2 mental abilities, one of them at gold and one of them at the max tier. And the mental abilities can't be developed over time, so it's really important to find players who have those abilities right off the bat. And like I said, I think he would be a candidate to start on day 1 of next season after LaMiles Brooks is gone. So we are sending the house for Billy Russo. I also forgot to show you guys Taekwon Chubb, the blocking tight end that I found. He's ranked number 102 overall in the country, and this doesn't look like a normal just blocking specialist tight end. He looks like he could be an offensive lineman. He's 262 pounds with 82 strength, 73 run block, 67 pass block. He already has us first on his board after we offered him a scholarship, and he's someone I'd definitely be interested in. I also found another cornerback alongside Damian Rowland in Paul Pinckney, and I think I liked Rowland's starting stats a little bit better, even though he was a bust. But if we could bring in both corners, I certainly wouldn't be mad. And there's not much to complain about with Pinckney. 76 man, 70 zone. And he's a pretty solid tackler as well. Right now I'm putting most of my resources into Rowland, but once we either win or lose that battle for Rowland, I'll then use the opened up resources to go after Pinckney. Tremont Lamb is a big time pass protector. He's going to start off at 84 pass block. And after that first half showing from our O-line, I think guys like Lamb would really help us out. I'm still not sure how to go about quarterback recruiting this year, but I did find someone who I wanted to go after in Cole Soliday. He is an improviser from Gainesville, which is in our top pipeline. Really nice short and deep accuracy, although the medium needs some work. And good but not great athleticism. He looks better than Graham Knowles and Aaron Philo right off the bat. So I'm definitely interested, and I am giving him 25 hours right now. He doesn't have us in his top 10, so hopefully that's enough to get us onto his board. With only 600 hours, I can't just send the house for everyone, and I'm choosing to do that instead for guys that I feel like are more important to us. Tight end Cliff Yates looks like a solid pass catcher. He'll start with 76 short route running. Not nearly as good at blocking as Tyquan Chubb though, and we don't have any information about his speed. But since we have 4 senior tight ends graduating this year, we kind of just need bodies at that position. I also found a running back that I really like, and this might be a tough battle to win as we're only 7th on his board right now. But Darrell Cooks could be a really nice replacement for Trey Cooley, who's graduating. And he might even have to have a bigger role if Jamal Haynes decides to transfer. Cooks seems like a pretty good fallback plan, and I'm currently giving him 25 hours as well. And one more thing, I was just scouting a couple of 5-stars that didn't have us locked out and were in one of our pipelines, so I thought we at least had a slim chance of winning out on. And look what I found. Evan Haslam, a cornerback from Franklin, Tennessee, has 98 speed and 82 man coverage. And he is a gem. This is the first time I've ever seen a 5-star player be a gem. I thought that wasn't even possible until I saw this. He's got 2 physical abilities and 3 mental abilities too. And with him being a gem, his dev trait is probably star or elite. This guy just looks too good for me to not make a run at him. And I'm currently pouring every asset I have into the possibility of making it into Evan Haslam's top 10. But that's all the recruiting I have today. Time for the second half in Dublin. And back to the regularly scheduled programming. Patrick Payton dominates his way to another sack. And I actually just wanted to see the replay, but I accidentally challenged this play since that was what my cursor was on from my unsuccessful challenge at the end of the first half. So we get sacked, lose a timeout, and have a 3-and-out to start the second half. That's pretty bad, and now Destin Hill is making our defense look silly. What a move, and now he's up to 5 catches and a $116. It does not seem like we have the momentum right now as the Seminoles are threatening to take the lead. First down in the red zone, they call Destin Hill's name again, and Machias Scott stops him in his tracks. 3rd and 6 from the right hash. Uyangalele. Over the middle, it is Jalen Brown. Up to the 4-yard line. DJ now over 200 passing yards. And another jet sweep. Cutting it inside is Malik Benson. And we stop him at the 2. 2nd and goal. Faking the handoff, and Morlock is open in the flat. Another touchdown for him. And our once 14-3 lead has vanished. We're going to need to execute better if we want to win this game. Pressure again on King, and he can't get it to the wide open Jamal Haynes. Now a 3rd and 9. A screen pass is dropped. That is the backup tight end, Jackson Hawes. Unbelievable. He could have walked for that first down if he had caught that ball. Now a 9-yard run from Roydell Williams sets up a 2nd and short, and Williams is dropped in the backfield. Sylvain Yanjuin. 3rd and 5 now. DJ with time, and he hits Jalen Brown. Down to the 33. We couldn't get the pressure, and Uyangalele makes us pay. A bubble screen on first down, and Destin Hill gains 17 more before being wrapped up at the 16. 134 receiving yards for Hill. Roydell Williams makes a cut, and he gains 7. EJ Lightsey tried to square up to tackle him, but Jeremiah Byers made a crucial block. Now it's the tight end over the middle, Another touchdown for the Seminoles. It's not Morlock this time, it's the backup, Brian Courtney. And it is a 2-score deficit for us. We try a mid-screen for Christian Leary, and it's snuffed out by DJ Lundy. And again, we're behind the chains on 3rd down. King is dumped, loses the ball, recovered by Patrick Payton. Nothing has gone right for us since the final 2 minutes of the first half. It's been an entirely different ball game. Both tackles instantly lost their blocks right there. And Patrick Payton and Marvin Jones were there before King could blink. Now Florida State can extend it to 3 scores. 2nd and 9, basically a 2nd and goal. Williams makes a cut, stiff arms Kyle Eford. Oh my goodness, what a run. And he stopped at the 1. 4th quarter now set to begin. Uyangalele wants Morlock, and he's got him again. The same way he scored last time. And Florida State is pulling away. Check out this insane stat line for Morlock. 5 catches, 6 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And the point after makes this a 17-point ball game. All the mistakes have really come back to bite us. Haynes King tries to escape the pocket, and he cannot. 2.5 sacks for Patrick Payton. 3rd and 12. When will it end? More pressure! Absolute dominance for the Florida State D-line. And this might be the game if we can't convert this 4th and 12. Haynes King directing his protection. Has Haynes in pass protection to his left. Stands in the pocket. Fires over the middle. Christian Leary makes the catch. There's a flag on the field. And it is pass interference on DJ Lundy. We decline that penalty. That is maybe the biggest weakness of this Florida State defense. They don't have great pass coverage over the middle of the field. But it's going to be a false start on Joe Fusel. We are just not locked in this game. 1st and 15. Pressure from the inside this time. Joshua Farmer with 2 sacks of his own. And again, we have seemingly impossible down and distance. King forced to his left and chased down. Patrick Payton again. Unbelievable. Haynes King chucks it deep. Eric Singleton can't haul it in. And it's going to be a 4th and 22. Our last gasp. King goes right back to the left side. This time there's someone open. And guess who? Christian Leary. The senior has come through time and time again. This time it's the tight end, Brett Seither, getting right up to the 1st down markers. And we run it across. It's Jamal Haynes down to the 12. 7.5 minutes to go. We need to score quickly. We try a draw play with Haynes. He stiff arms the defensive tackle. And he gains 4. 2nd and 6. King rolls left and runs it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. King has not been able to scramble much this game. There have just been no angles to leave the pocket. But he does there, and now we have 2 more stops and 2 more scores to make. They fake the jet sweep, and they run it up the middle with Roydell Williams. He gains 3, now a 3rd and 6 from the 29. It is a draw play blown up by Jordan Vandenberg. And that's 1 stop down. Mastromano boots it away high in the air. Another short punt. Leary not content to take the fair catch. He gets up to the FSU 41. Another huge play from Leary. A net of 13 yards on the punt. And now we call Leary's name yet again. The screen gets 4. King finds Leary again on the hitch route. 1st down, up to the 26. 4.5 to go. Time is ticking. Leary again, this time on the drag route, up the middle, down to the 19. Trying to mix in the run now. We hand it off to Jamal Haynes, who is wrapped up behind the line, but it's a free play. Patrick Payton lined up offsides. Now up to the 14. Waiting for an opening, and there is the senior receiver, Chase Lane. That's his first catch of the ball game. 3rd and 2, 3:40 on the clock. Haynes can't get there. He ran into the wall that is Darrell Jackson Jr., and that brings up 4th and 1. Trying to find the perfect play, snapping it just in time. King has Haynes! Touchdown! We got the score, we got the stop, and we got another score. All that's left is another stop and another score. Here is Roydell Williams up the middle. We wrap him up and call timeout. That timeout that I wasted at the beginning of the half would really come in handy right now. 3rd and 4. Williams on the screen pass. What a play call. 1st down, Florida State. We get the 2-minute warning, and we have one more timeout. Lawrence Toafili gets the carry, a gain of 2, and we use our final timeout. Roydell Williams gets 5, and Kyle Eford saves the 1st down. This is the ball game. 3rd and 3. Uyangalele running the clock out. Motions a receiver left. Fakes it to him. Williams fighting. Stop short. And there's a flag on the field. It is a holding call. And like a gift from the heavens, that stops the clock and basically acts as the timeout that I wasted for no reason. And the offense will have one last chance. It's a medium-length boot from Mastromano and a fair catch from Leary at the 22-yard line. Now it's all on the shoulders of Haynes King. Can he orchestrate a comeback? The offensive line not making it easy for him. Marvin Jones Jr. forces another wasted play. 2nd and 10. Throws into tight coverage and incomplete, intended for the senior Avery Boyd. That was a panic throw. Now our backs against the wall on 3rd down. King throws over the middle. It is Chase Lane, and he got down short of the 1st down. There is a flag on the field. It is holding on Joe Fusel again. But Florida State declines the penalty, choosing to go with a 4th and 2 instead of a 3rd and 20. What a ballsy decision. King looking, firing, too far from Malik Rutherford. Turnover on downs. We were gifted a short yardage situation, and King couldn't make the throw. And the Seminoles are going to walk away with the Week 0 win. What an unsatisfying start to the season, but at the end of the day, we made way too many mistakes to expect to beat the 11th best team in the country. From the 6 sacks allowed by our offensive line, to the numerous holding penalties, to the challenge flag accidentally just falling out of Calvin Johnson's pocket, to the fumbles by Eric Singleton and Haynes King, even though I still believe the Singleton fumble should have been called an incompletion. But all of those mistakes just kept compounding on each other, and it just completely killed our momentum. It seemed like the only guy on offense we could trust is Christian Leary, who finished with 9 catches and 199 yards. No one else finished with more than 40 yards. Jamal Haynes wasn't involved as I would have liked him to be, because eventually we just got behind and we weren't able to run the ball anymore. Haynes King wasn't able to scramble, and the 700-yard rusher last year finished with negative rushing yards today, even with the rushing touchdown. And Jordan Williams was completely outmatched at right tackle, just did not stand a chance against Patrick Payton, giving up 3 sacks. The offense was extremely disappointing. The defense, although giving up 31 points, was actually a pleasant surprise for me. We handled the run pretty well. Roydell Williams never broke off a huge run. Destin Hill absolutely torched us. But honestly, we gave up less yards than I expected. And the highest rated player on our defense played like the highest rated player. Romello Height had 2 sacks today and a whole lot more pressures. It wasn't the best secondary showing, but at the end of the day, Uyangalele threw for less than 300 passing yards, which I feel like is a positive. But even with the disappointing loss, We have some encouraging news from our weekly advanced recruiting update. Billy Russo now has us first on his board, and so does Sammy Kirkland and Damian Rowland. And we've made some good progress on Darrell Hadnot and Bobby Pascal, who have us at second now. Antonio Genis has us at third. Cliff Yates also has us at second. And we've also made the top 5 of running back Darrell Cooks. Unfortunately, quarterback Cole Soliday has locked us out of his top 8. But I literally just realized during the recording of this video that Haynes King is actually a junior, not a senior, so quarterback isn't exactly a pressing need for us, as King will probably be returning for a second year. But that about does it for the first game of the Georgia Tech Dynasty. Next week, we will have our home opener against a much less intimidating opponent in our next-door neighbors, the Georgia State Panthers. And hopefully we can get our first win of the series. I had a good time putting this video together. It was really interesting to call a football game for the first time. It was certainly an exciting one, even though it ended in a loss. I tried to do my best to make it as exciting as possible for you all, since there's no crowd audio. It goes without saying, but obviously that issue will be fixed next episode, which should hopefully be coming out in the next 2 or 3 days. That's the time frame I'm giving myself. But I hope you all are enjoying the beginnings of this series. Excited to move forward with it and continue making it even better. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, comment, recommend me to a friend. Any help would be much appreciated. I'm really hoping this series gains traction with the YouTube algorithm at some point. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next episode.